You know, here's the problem, Grant. You can count the hits, but you can't count the misses. So how many people would have been killed in this bar if that guy hadn't been there? We don't know, but let's say it's 5. I want those 5 on a list. And every single time that something like this happens, the lives that we can estimate of being saved, I want those on a list. Because all we ever hear about are the people who are killed by guns. They're not so much killed by guns as they're killed by criminals. And the answer, obviously, to stopping criminals is to prevent the law-abiding citizens from being able to defend themselves. That's the logic we're dealing with here. And the big issue, I think, for me, Grant, by far, the bigger issue is not only the lives that are saved in an intervention case like this, but how many lives are saved every day by the simple deterrent fact that a criminal or a murderer or a robber has a pretty good belief that the person that they're going in to get is armed themselves. How many crimes don't happen simply because the criminals know that their chances of getting away with this one scot-free are not as good? This is why this is why you can't argue with the left, because it's not like my opinion and their opinion. Everything they do is academic, right? It's a giant discussion in the faculty meeting room. But there's data, and the data says that in heavily gun-controlled Chicago, the murder rate is 50 people per 100,000, and in Plano, Texas, where there's more guns than there are people, a lot more, it's 0.5, 0.4 per 100,000 people. And this is data, and they can't get around it.
So I want to go back to the first thing you said. You know, you say a lot of smart things on this program, but the first thing, I don't want to brush over this, Bill. Imagine if we actually had a list of the number of people saved by a good guy with a firearm. That list would be so much longer than the people killed by bad guys with firearms, and the left would be just beside themselves trying to figure out how to counter it.